Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of February 15th, 2017. So let's get right into it. First up, we have Aquaman number 17. This will start the Warhead story arc. I've been enjoying Aquaman so far. It's amazing that it's now 17 issues in. So, but yeah, really, really good stuff from Aquaman. I've been enjoying it. Next up, we have Batman at number 17. This continues the I Am Bane story arc. Really, really solid stuff from Tom King. So yeah, I can't wait to see what is in store in that issue. Next up, we have Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures number 4. It's just been a really fun book with the animated series Batman, and the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, if you like either of those, I highly recommend that book. We have a new Rebirth title from DC, and that's a Batwoman Rebirth number 1. Batwoman is getting her own series, and this is where it starts. You can actually, or the issues 948 and 949, I believe, of Detective Comics are like the prologue to this. So if you were curious about Batwoman, I would check those issues out. But this is where Batwoman will be reborn, so to speak. Next up, we have Generation Zero number 7. This book's been okay so far. It's been a little slow in kind of revealing what's going on, so I'm curious to see if they finally tackle that issue in issue 7. I know, issue twice. Next up, we have Green Arrow number 17. Emerald Outlaw continues in this issue. Percy's been doing a really good job with Green Arrow. I've been enjoying it. So, yep. Next up, we have Green Lanterns number 17. This continues the Darkest Nights story arc, where Baz and Jessica Cruz are helping Batman in Gotham City figure out something having to do with fear. Next up, we have Harley Quinn number 14. This starts in Nether Regions, the story arc. Harley's okay. Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner do a great job on the book. I just really kind of wish we would get some new flavor writing-wise for that title. Next up, we have Justice League number 15. This starts the Timeless Part 1. Ryan actually flipped through this and told me I needed to flip through it beforehand, but I have not yet. But he says there's a surprise in here, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it is. Next up, we have Lucifer number 15. I've been enjoying it so far, so I'm going to keep going with it. But it's okay. Next up is Manifest Destiny number 26. This has been an amazing book from the start, and I look forward to reading it every issue that's out. Yeah, if you have not checked it out, I highly recommend picking up Volume 1. I think the title of that trade is Flora and Fauna. Next up, we have Mother Panic number 3. DC's the only DC Young Animal title I'm picking up. Yeah, really good stuff from that, so I can't wait to dive into issue 3. Next up is Odyssey of the Amazons number 2 of 6. The first issue was a really long read, but I enjoyed it for overall, so I'm going to keep going with that to kind of, yeah, but hey, who knows. Next up, we have Savage number 4 from Valiant. This title has been really interesting, so keep going with it until it's done. New number 1 from DC, and this one I know Dan Didio is excited for, and that's Super Sons from Tomasi and Jimenez. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what Damian and John get into in this book. Next up, we have Superman number 17, the Dark Harvest story arc. So see what's going on with that, but Superman's just been an amazing, amazing title. Next up is a fun one, Teen Titans Go. I have not actually stayed current on watching the show, but hopefully when the next Blu-ray comes out, I will pick that up. Next up, we have Trinity number 6. Overall, I've been enjoying this book because it's kind of solidifying the new Trinity with the new with the old Superman, displaced Superman. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, basically, this new 52 Batman and Wonder Woman are kind of having to accept a new Superman. So the interactions are pretty interesting. And finally, on the read list, or my pull list, I should say, is The Wildstorm, #1 by Warren Ellis, bringing back the Wildstorm characters. This is actually cover 2. There are 3 covers. I picked up 2 of them. I did not pick up the main cover. I didn't really like it as much. So this is a variant cover for The Wildstorm. So yeah, curious to see how that book does. So, speaking of variants, I picked up a handful of them this week. First up, we have Aquaman #17. I guess he's just irritated overall. Next up, we have the variant for Batwoman Rebirth, right there. And then Green Lanterns variant, said Fear. Yep, that's Scarecrow. Frank Cho did the one for Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn the body's a little bit a little bit bigger than normal for Harley Quinn. She's not as thick. I don't mind the art. It's just her head seems proportionally a little small for the body, but it's a Harley cover, so I picked it up. Next up is picked up the Manifest Destiny Chew variant cover, homage to Chew #1. Like snag that one up. Super Sons, of course, had a variant cover, so I had to pick that one up because it was, Dustin knew him. Superman had a Tony Daniels Superman cover. So I was like, okay. Mother Panic had one with Batwoman on it, so I figured going with the whole Batwoman thing that's going on this week. And of course, the third variant from Wildstorm, the Wildstorm, is the Jim Lee variant, which I snagged up. So if you love Jim Lee, you better get to your store and hopefully order enough. So that's it for my pull list. I did get a special order this week, and I'm actually really excited it came in, and that is the DC Bombshells Katana statue right there. So I'm really curious to open this bad boy up and see how she looks. So most likely going to be doing a video for you guys on that. Love most of the Bombshell line that's come out. This one, a statue, I hope they do a really good job matching the artwork that inspired it. So fingers are crossed. All right. Now we're on to the read list. These are titles that I read to stay current and caught up on stuff. So first we have Captain America, the Steve Rogers one, #11. Nick Spencer's been doing an okay job with the title. Again, like I've said before, it had a rocky start, but it's going somewhere. I'm not too sure if it's really getting me more excited for Secret Empire, but yeah, we'll see. Next up is Jason Aaron's Doctor Strange #17. Jason Aaron's been doing a really good job with Doctor Strange. It's just been a really fun, book to read. Interesting. I'm curious to see where they go after the last story arc. Next up is the Walking Dead homage variant cover for Kill or Be Killed #6. We got plenty of these in, but we didn't get plenty of the regular cover. So this is not the regular cover, it's the variant cover, but Kill or Be Killed 6 is out, and it is a phenomenal book. If you're curious and haven't yet dove into Kill or Be Killed, the first trade is out of the first 4 issues, so I highly recommend you snag that up and check it out because Kill or Be Killed is awesome. Next up, we have The Mighty Thor #16. Jane Foster is going up against the Shi'ar's Empire, so we'll see what happens there. Next up, we have Old Man Logan #18. Jeff Lemire's just been doing a phenomenal job, and Sorrentino's art is amazing. So I cannot wait to see where Old Man Logan goes in that issue. And finally on the read list is Star Wars Poe Dameron #11. Sewell has been doing a really solid job on this book, which is basically the only book I think I'm reading by Soul right now. So yeah, big ginormous week. There was a ton of other titles that came out, so be on the lookout for those. We didn't get too many copies of a lot of them. That's why I didn't necessarily have reader copies, but I know the Clone Conspiracy #5 comes out, which is the last issue, even though they're coming out with like a extra issue. Yeah, it's not that great. The new Invincible Iron Man comes out with Riri Williams, issue 4, and there's a couple there's some X books that come out that tie in with Inhumans versus X-Men. So yeah, be on the lookout for those. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I survived Valentine's Day, or as other people like to call it, Singles Awareness Day or Single Awareness Day. Um, yeah, my kids took Valentine's to school, all that fun stuff. So hopefully they had a good time with that. Tuesdays I don't really get to see them very much because I'm working two jobs, and then by the time I get home after I podcast, they are asleep. So tomorrow I will see how they enjoyed Valentine's Day. Um, yeah, what else is going on? Oh, I think the thing. So I had a pretty busy week last week. Had some court stuff I had to get taken care of, which everything's working out as best as I can expect it to. My divorce should be final on March 15th. So yeah, so hopefully that goes through swimmingly. Um, yeah. My son on Wednesday of last week was complaining of itching, and he found out he had lice. So I have been able to check the lice box off of my parenting bucket list, even though I don't think anyone would ever put having to deal with lice on their parenting bucket list. Um, gave him a treatment, got all that stuff taken care of, picked out nits and all that, and blah 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 blah. So I have to give him another treatment tomorrow, but he looks to be okay and going to be lice free. So yeah, I have not gotten it yet. My daughter hasn't gotten it. So yeah, so we're good. I think I've done a good job as a dad on that category. So feels good. Yeah, I was supposed to see Lego Batman, but due to the lice problem, I was not able to go see it with Brody. Hopefully this week we will be able to go see it. We talk about it, or it's talked about. I left the room while they talked about it. Lego Batman was talked about on episode 297 of the Comic Conspiracy, which we recorded this evening. We also talked about the FX show Legion, and The Walking Dead mid-season premiere, plus a handful of other topics. So if you want to check that out, you can go to www.geekbox.net and or go to iTunes and look up the Comic Conspiracy podcast, and you can download them there. If you do go to iTunes, or if you are on iTunes and you download us, please rate and review us. That bumps us up in the scale so people can actually find us. I don't know, some weird algorithm thing. Oh yeah. Anything else? Nope. Please feel free, as usual, to leave comments down below. Like to see what you guys are picking up. Any comments you have on stuff I'm picking up. Yeah, just great to have we can have a nice discussion there. Somebody, yeah, it's always good to engage in conversation. So please post down there. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can listen to me on the Comic Conspiracy podcast at www.geekbox.net. And episode 297 should be up there for your enjoyment. There'll be a link for the actual episode in the to the episode in the description below. So if you don't want to go directly to Geekbox, you can just click the link. I always get fuddled at the end with what I need to say. I need to actually get like a list, but hey. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out at Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicconspiracy, and for as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees and getting some food and getting products, so we can stay knowledgeable about all this stuff. So to our Patreon backers, thank you very much. If you are a Patreon backer, you do get exclusives like Bryce Brieflies and the Roundup, which is Charlie and Toby, my co-hosts. Random or just general TV podcast. So yeah, so check that out, and please, if you feel you want to help, your donate or your Patreon helps. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to get going because I'm getting tired and I need to go to bed. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.